Hello, welcome back to another 2v2 battle. I'm playing as Chaos currently, and Tokshen is playing as the Empire. Over here, we're fighting one Empire player and one Vampire Count player. We're beginning to move in right now. Let's go and check out what will happen. I'm beginning to move right in front of Tokshen. I've got my Forsaken, I've got my Chosen. We're looking at Kholek, who I enjoy quite a bit, and even a Chaos Chariot. Not a Gore Beast one, but a Chaos Chariot. I even have over here Armored Chaos Trolls, who are pretty effective, and one Shoggoth. My build will be linked down below if you're curious about that. Zetling's Ranks Guard is right over here for Tokshen. They're beginning to move forward. We're trying to get into position to finally defeat and find our opponent. Alright, they have Vlad. Vlad is very powerful, not an easy guy to beat. One Banshee, they are very hard to beat as well. Very frightening. Look at her. Very frightening. Kind of hard to make her out, but now, yeah, pretty scary. You need to work on your ephemeral skincare. Alright. Here comes the Empire player. They're moving in a separate way, whereas we are trying to combine. That way we can fight together and flank together if need be. I'm beginning to move up, though. I'm trying to maintain that front line. I've got my chariots moving over here. Tokshen is beginning to move up. He had his own Free Company militia moving up. I don't know why he began to move over here. I have no clue why he did that. It made me a bit worried. I mean, they do have a Vargulf, and they could easily hit him. We're looking over here at Imperial artillery shooting now, mortars, and those will be quite effective at killing my own lightly armored men. Now I'm trying to get ready to go fight the Empire player too. It's a very interesting battle in terms of how it turned out. And I'll go over each part of it as it begins to commence. I mean, right now we're only trying to get into position. Alright, there we go. Tokshen slowly moving in. I'm beginning to get hit by mortar, which again can really hurt my Forsaken quite a bit if they manage to be fired upon for a prolonged period of time. I've got an Amber Wizard for the Imperial player and a Pharaoh Manticore. I did use my ability to go after crossbowmen, which got quite a few kills. Or I believe it did. I thought it did. Okay, now I'm charging in. I wanted to go after the actual Imperial player initially. I had a feeling that they would be easier to break at the very beginning. Here come my chariots right now. Let's go check out the charge real quick. That way we know what's going on. Looks pretty cool. I like it. I dig it. We're moving right through right now. Killing a few people. I wanted to break up their formation. I wanted to focus on one part of their line to try to break them, to try to whittle them down just a little bit. I mean, they have a pretty traditional formation. Nothing really exquisite. Over here, I am worried about the Black Knights. I mean, the Blood Knights too, and not to mention Demigryph Knights. I mean, those are all very powerful groups that I gotta worry about. Okay, here we go. Moving in again. Forsaken are now charging. We can easily tear right through any swordsman. They're really meant to kind of hold me back. They're not really meant to be a mainstay force. Crossbows are gonna just shoot at me. Mortars are firing here too. Fortunately, one did hit the crossbow men. It's beautiful. Let's go over here real quick. I'm gonna go into slow motion to show you what's going on. Tokshen's beginning to clash too. That Vargulf, 5 kills already. Ranks Guard moving in. Over here we have one group fighting. Spearmen all alone. I don't even know how they got there alone like that. Pretty crazy. But he's not charging in. He's trying to move in there. I've got a few of my own soldiers over here now fighting zombies, and we've got Grave Guard too. I don't even have my full army over here. I feel outnumbered. I didn't bring a very big army. I brought a very There we go. Trying to trudge right through. We're trying very hard right now to trudge right through. I don't know how that's working out. There's my Shoggoth though. I do love my Kholek and Shoggoth. They're a lot of fun. Look at that. We've got a very traditional line. Again, more friendly fire. Maybe even a little bit of it on their own end. My chariots are trying to move out of the formation. That way they can go right after their flanks. Okay, they've got stand your ground. They haven't moved in their knights yet. I felt like they couldn't handle the micromanagement. That might have been why they weren't using everything all at once. Okay, let's look over here. My chariots are now heading back in. They're going to do a lot of damage from behind. They probably could have countered me by attacking me with their heroes and the Manticore too, but they didn't. I'm losing a lot, but if you look at my kills, I mean, I'm a damage dealer. When my leadership is high and all that, and I'm doing damage, I'm going to hit pretty hard. They are buffed up temporarily. That's going to help them out. Forsaken taking a lot of damage and they'll begin to break. I have Kholek and my Shoggoth charging in and out. I'm trying to have them charge in and out, and over here I'm trying to make sure that they can't flank me from behind. I mean, they'll do a lot of damage no matter what, but at the very least I'm facing them. That way they can't beat me up from behind. Over here we're looking at my Chosen with great weapons, and they're not cheap at all. They're fighting zombies and a few Grave Guard. Or one group of Graveguard. I've got my own trolls beginning to move in. I want to use them to go flank knights. If I can do that and keep them stationary, I can actually break them. My front line's beginning to fall apart a little bit. My chariots are now moving in. That is where the big damage is at. That is where the money's at. They're being wedged in between two sides right now, and they're getting destroyed. I mean, look at that flow of blood. That is a lot of blood. The Manticore is now moving in and diving in. Are you knocking over your own? No, you're not. I don't believe you are anyway. I hope you're not, for your own sake. That wouldn't be good. But here's my men, all clashing in right now. I'm going to get out of slow motion. I would like to put that on. That way I'm not pausing completely, but I can show you what's going on in the battle. Okay, over here we're looking at Tokshen having his own fight. Pretty generic fight, again. Nothing too special in terms of maneuvering, but right now I'm trying to focus on taking out Blood Knights. I'm using my Shoggoth. And Kholek's taking a lot of hits from their crossbows, which I'm not happy about. But we also have Demigryph Knights who could easily take out my chariots, which are taking a lot of damage. They're beginning to rout. They didn't do a great job. I was kind of hoping they would, but they didn't. I have them coming back in again. But they are doing enough to break up the enemy line. Demigryph Knights are not doing a lot. I feel like the game is a little bit faster. I don't know if they like patched the game made it faster. I hope not in terms of movement speed. Kholek, again, a lot of damage. I keep using his spell over and over where I can. I'm trying to just use my guys to flank all the time. I'm trying to go after their crossbows now. A little bit. Alright, so check out what's fleeing. My Forsaken, I would imagine. 149 kills. I mean, they got a lot of kills, and we're looking at Demigryph Knights back here, who I'm hoping are dying. Great Swords are fighting too, only 19 kills. Again, I'm now beginning to move in my Chosen. My Chosen are incredible. They fought zombies, but they're tired out, which is really a good goal to have, to tire out my own elite men with your own cheap men. Graveguard are now fighting swordsmen who will die in that battle. Tokshen has a lot more. It's going to let him flank wherever he wants to. We're looking at Demigryph Knights. We're looking at more Knights over here, and they're just going to win. We got Volkmar too. He's very powerful. Now Vlad is very powerful too, but Volkmar has 99 kills, nearly 100 kills. He was actually debuffed, Master of Beguilement, but only on Volkmar, which isn't very effective. You don't want to really waste on one hero like that. Kind of a weird ring where they're all fighting zombies, and a few Graveguard. He had a very cheap army, but they're holding. They're actually holding pretty well. The Claw and Nagash, always a pain to fight, but they didn't use it early on. We've got a few more units back here. They were trying to guard their mortar, but the mortar didn't get to do a lot, did it? I mean, 1 kill, 2 kills? Ugh. Not really worthwhile. They probably should have focused on Tokshen's line where things are cheaper. See, I mean, look at that. He could have hit right over here and killed so many of his Free Company militia or flagellants. I mean, they're all unarmored. That would have done a lot of damage, provided they did hit. Okay, over here we've got my Forsaken who broke, but they'll be back. Over here, I surrounded a lot of their knights and did a lot of damage. We've got Graveguard too helping them out. My trolls are trying to bite. Get back to normal speed. Kholek's moving in again, 43 kills. All buffed up. I buffed up my own men. We're going after a lot of his own soldiers. Carl's not really fighting right now. My Shoggoth is still fighting and flanking, all doing a lot of damage. It was really a curious battle. I didn't know how well it would go. I knew that I needed my Chosen back here on the front lines to help me out. We needed to fight their knights over time in order to beat them. Otherwise, we wouldn't have really done too well. And over here, I'm fighting knights, and I'm trying to entangle any Blood Knight I can. They did lose a lot. They're moving back. I'm chasing them a little bit. They're doing more damage to me. My trolls will probably eventually break. I got my Shoggoth now moving out. Notice how I keep charging in and out my Shoggoth, and here comes Carl now for a big charge. Well, I thought he was going to be a big charge. 38 kills so far. Kholek is at nearly 80 kills right now. That Manticore's coming back in, but not really staying. My poor Chaos Warriors are terrified now. I'm coming back in to fight. I'm holding over here with Kholek and a Shoggoth. They're still shooting at me right now. The Amber Wizard's doing its own thing. I'm still holding right now. Let's go ahead and check out Tokshen's side. It's a very busy battle. We usually fight together, but here we didn't get to fight together, and we fought 2 different sides. I mean, that worked out for a better result. Anyway, here are zombies over here. We're looking at another banishment, a free one from Volkmar. He's able to get one whenever he's on his war altar. Sigmar, the Claw of Nagash, is over here now. Still charging in, but again, the battle was way too spread out for the Vampire Count player. If it was all together, he probably could have caused terror and fear. Then he wouldn't have had to worry about getting flanked, and he wasn't really able to shoot too much. If you look at it, 52 kills, I mean, that's pretty good. They do have armor piercing, and that's why they can get a lot of kills. Volkmar's still fighting. Vlad takes forever to kill. Well, actually, that Banshee too. Where's Vlad at? Did he get Vlad? I don't know if they got Vlad or not. Where's Vlad at? Ah, over here. Look at that. Vlad takes like no damage, man. He's able to replenish it so quickly. That's why they have a cap. Here's Kholek again. 81 kills, taking a lot of damage from crossbows. I mean, that is what they're meant to do. Good job on that part. Now I'm using a spell from Kholek over here to go attack their Demigryph Knights. I'm hoping to kill a lot of them. They're at 22 right now. And now they're being hit. Let's go find out how many are gone. There we go. 4 dead. Considering it's a very tiny group, it really is not too bad. Now I'm beginning to flank more of them. My Shoggoth is moving back out. Leadership lost, but that is okay. I've got my chariot moving around. That Manicore is doing a lot of damage to my warriors. But they're far from the battle, which means I get to focus over here. My trolls are now moving back in to find even more of their swordsmen. They're all very cheap. They'll eventually begin to break. I'm still trying to fight them. Kholek, over 100 kills now. The knights are over here at 18 left. And Tokshen, oh man, look at that. He's shooting a lot. Probably a bit of friendly fire, I would imagine. But at that angle, they're actually getting a lot of kills. I mean, fighting here actually worked out in his favor. I didn't think it would, but that probably worked out a little bit. They're able to fire up here and down here at different levels of elevation. Now, the Vampire Count player is trying to help out the Empire player. I'm breaking them completely. I'm all over the map. I mean, their knights were trying very hard to beat me, but they couldn't quite do it. I entangled them a lot. I didn't want to let my trolls break completely. I needed their armor piercing and their staying power too, and a little bit of their regeneration. Here comes Demigryph Knights. They're going to deal a lot of damage. I got my Forsaken who moved in, only 15, but that will help slow them down. Shoggoth, 80 kills. Pretty good. Kholek, 144. Okay, more Knights are beginning to move in. Oh, they have 21 in that group, but that would be Tokshen's. And now they're moving in to help me out, which was a great moment to have a little bit of help. I mean, he's one over here. The Vampire Count player is done for. He did a little Wind of Death. Didn't do a lot, or whatever it's called. Can't remember the exact name. The Empire player is trying to reform, which would be okay, but we're at a pretty late period in the game, in the battle. And here I am. I'm making sure that Kholek goes in and do all that damage. I mean, 520, that's a lot of damage. And I do more when fighting a large creature. And I have armor piercing too. And look at that. They're now fleeing. They're shooting at me again. Here's my Shoggoth, 80 kills, over 4,000 health. That Manticore harassed me for quite a bit of time. I barely have anything left right now. I had a very tiny army to start with. But here I go. Trolls are now moving in. I'm trying to take care of that front line. I'm trying to get every greatsword out of here. That way they'll break and move away quickly. Let's go look over here real quick. Nightclaw of Nagash, never dying. Vlad, still here. Look at that. A lot of kills and barely any damage. Vlad is very powerful. And here we are fighting Carl. 25 kills only. I'm still going around. Again, my goal is to try to make them flee before they can really reform and do a lot more damage to me. Look at that. 190 kills for my Chosen. That is actually a lot. That was actually pretty cool. I never usually use my Chosen that much. Okay, and the Knights are moving back in. They actually did manage to flank me effectively that time. I had negated a lot of their charges. Alright. Another spell again. I was actually trying to save that to hit their Knights, and it did a lot of damage to them. If you look at that, they're beginning to crumble and fade. They couldn't quite do it then. That's why I like Kholek. He's got that free spell. I only need to wait for the cooldown. Very good to use on mounted groups. And again, nearly 200 kills. I'm moving around now, trying to go after their leadership. Tokshen's pretty much done. We've only got that one spearman group. The mortar, I don't think they really did anything at all. I don't know what was going on with that, but yeah, they did crap, and they had like the entire game to shoot at us. I don't know where they were being told to fire, or if they forgot about them, or what, but we managed to beat them. There's Kholek. We're now charging in. There's only a little bit more to the battle left. That claw's back here. No, that's going to mess me up a bit. Yeah, my Chosen are terrified. Only 86 kills for that group. Alright, they're falling apart now. Chaos Warriors 1. Demigryph Knights did help out. They're pretty weak now. Well, oh my gosh, it's hard to count there. Okay, we broke him. Kholek is going in. Actually, my bad. Shoggoth, you're going in. 98 kills. 184 for Kholek. And the battle's over. We won the battle. One, they should have moved together. The mortar should have been used on unarmored groups of soldiers, and that would have been much better for them. Really, I probably would have had a much harder time fighting the Vampire Count player, I think. Okay, I lost 448, a majority of my army. If you go look at what I have right now, a lot of kills with my Forsaken. I was fighting cheap soldiers. I can get a lot of kills. I did fight a bit of the Vampire Count player too. My Chosen got 200 kills here, 86 over here. Chariots were really not that great, but they were okay. My Trolls didn't take a lot of damage. They were doing okay. My Shoggoth did a lot. Yeah, I mean, these two were my main tools to really flank them and cause terror and fear. Over here, we've got Vlad, 102 kills, always very effective. Zombies, actually got a few kills. Graveguard, barely any kills over here, only 5 kills. 151, 144, so generally a lot of kills. The Blood Knights and Reavers barely did anything to me, which is really a shame. He should have kept his own knights with him. He probably could have fought Tokshen by going after his range units or maybe his own knights, but he didn't do that. They tried to go after me with pretty much all their cav, I believe, and I was able to counter it, or at least keep them busy for a majority of the game. My Chaos Warriors were able to hold pretty well. Okay, the Empire player. Mortars, again, not used well at all. Crossbows probably should have been in the very front. I wouldn't have been able to easily reach it. They should have been able to shoot me a little bit more. I mean, he did try to take down Kholek. Didn't really work out in his favor. I mean, he did have a lot of cheap things that got to keep me there, but he didn't have enough tools to use to really strike any real damage to me. I mean, he did his damage, sure, but it wasn't enough to make me break. The Great Swords did not do a lot. Demigryph Knights, not a lot. None of it, just not a lot. Okay, Tokshen over here. 144 for Volkmar, quite a bit with his own wizard. Empire Captain, quite a bit, and they're actually in pretty good shape. 150 for Spearmen. That's probably the group that fought all the zombies. Flagellants were okay. They're unbreakable, and they did their part. And generally, a lot of kills fighting the Vampire Count player. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like down below, and look forward to more online battle content. Until then.